What up? What up? What up? This is RJ Fantasy Football Talking. We back again. You know what it is. I'm Rodney. This Jay. Another week, week 9. What's going on, man?
Hey, it's good. It's good. Everything's been nice here. I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, but in this past week, I went 6-2 across all my leagues. I would have been 7-1, but Travis Kelce didn't really exist for the Chiefs. But I ain't gonna be on that one. But it's not just about me going 6-2. One of my 6 victories was against a good friend of this show, who's right over there on that other window.
It's okay.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. I went 3-3,
Okay.
but that's a tough league, though, man.
Yep. I'm number 1 in that league, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty tough over there, but it's cool though, man.
Yeah.
I'm not too upset. I did good, so across the board, I'm looking good though.
Hey,
across the board.
Get you some. Hey, we play in 3 leagues together. I'm number 1 in that league that I beat you pretty badly this week. I'm number 1 in another league we play in. But here's your props. In the 3rd league we play in, you're number 1. So across the board on the 3 leagues we play together, we killing it. Number 1,
Actually,
number 1.
I'm number 1 in that one league, and then I'm number 3 in the other league, and then I'm like number 4. So
Yeah.
I'm in the thick of things in the playoffs, and then in other leagues, I'm sitting at number 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm in the playoffs for all my hunts. So I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, and not only that, I'm gonna give you some more props because in our NFL pick'ems, you are number 1 finisher for this week. 9-6. I had my first losing week. I only got 7 correct picks, but look at that overall number, and I'm still doing my thing. But props to you for winning this week. You're narrowing the gap a little bit.
Look, man, I told you I'm going against the grain every week, man. I'm gonna pick a couple of games to go against the grain and just try to win, man. It's all I can do for real. So
it worked for you this past week, so keep it up, and we make this thing interesting. Welcome Justin to the show. I see the Mike White reference. Mike White will be mentioned some more today, because I wish I had $1,000 to go back in time and put it on Mike White, because he did his thing.
Out.
He did his thing.
Yes, he did.
Thank you for the congrats on my 6-2 week, especially beating Rodney. I see you want to know what the matchup was. The only matchup thing you really need to know was I had the great Tom Brady. Because you talked some noise saying your Matthew Stafford was going to be equal to my Tom Brady. Matthew Stafford had a good week too, but
I was playing against myself because I got Brady in a couple leagues too. So
right.
I was like, I had Brady and I won some leagues, so it's all good,
It all comes out in the wash. We'll see each other in the playoffs, I'm sure.
Definitely, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So you know how we're gonna
start off with the impact players.
Let's go, and definitely we're gonna start with Mike White.
Yes.
This came out of the blue. 37-45, 405, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Who cares about that? But I didn't see that coming. But I will say this, and this is not quite news. Well, I would say it's a little bit of news. Word around New York is if he continues to play well, which is tomorrow, by the way, Thursday Night Football, that he may actually keep the job over Zach Wilson. And it made me a quarterback controversy a little bit. It could possibly, but if he wins again,
right,
and plays not lights out like he did last week, but plays well, they say he could keep the job. They say possibly the job is his.
I mean, there was a lot of. I always go with don't give up on you brought in Zach Wilson to be the starter. I think you give up every opportunity to be that. But if he plays like he did last week, you might tell Zach Wilson, nah, I think you're still a little bit hurt from that. You might want to sit down for a few more weeks and see how this thing goes. But yeah.
Well, the thing about that is they invested a lot in him.
Yeah.
So obviously they want to play him, but at the same time, if you're winning games with Mike White, which they beat a pretty good Cincinnati team last week, and if they can pull off another victory this week, who knows, man? Anything is possible. Now Zach Wilson is the future, obviously.
Yeah.
But we don't know. It could happen.
Hey. We'll be watching that for tomorrow to see how it goes. I see Justin also a fan. He says Zach Wilson's going to get his job back week 10. I would be surprised if he didn't, but we'll see what happens tomorrow night. You gonna put $1,000 on Zach Wilson?
No, I'm not. Nah. I'm good. I'm gonna hold off on that.
Hold on. Who else you got for your impact guys?
Tom Brady, the guy we just talked about. 28 of 40, 375, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, losing calls, but hey, it doesn't matter at this point. It's regular season. Right. Tom Brady just had good numbers. Cooper Rush, another one. Out of the blue. Out of nowhere. 24, 40, 325, 2 touchdowns. And he threw the game, if I'm not mistaken, he threw the game-winning touchdown or something. He got him down there. So, played well. This list is really weird this week. Davis Mills, 29 of 38, 310, 2 touchdowns and an interception. And then I'm going to finish it off with Matthew Stafford, 21 of 32, 305, 3 touchdowns. Is one guy I did not put on the list, and I did not put on this list for a reason, because he wasn't the reason why all this stuff happened. So his name is Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not going on this list. I knew where that was going. So he's not. I'm not hating. I mean, I can go into why he got his yards, but we really don't want to go there. We don't need to go there.
Another name to add to this list, and he didn't have the greatest yards, but he had 3 touchdowns, and I'm pretty sure to the delight of several people in fantasy football, Ryan Tannehill put up 265 and 3 touchdowns, because we're going to talk about some new stuff, and with Derrick Henry having his potentially season-ending surgery on his foot, we're going to need to see a lot more from Ryan Tannehill for those Titans to be competitive. So it was good to see him get it going with A.J. Brown, especially this week, and we'll see if we see some more of that. Before we do running backs, let's hit these questions. I see Justice said he traded away Melvin Gordon in one league for Gibson. You like that?
No, I don't. Because he traded away Melvin Gordon for. Oh yeah, I like that. I looked at it wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I like that. He got Gibson. Gibson is the number one there. When healthy, he's the number one.
And that's going to be my only comment about it is
when healthy.
That healthy. Yeah. We've talked several weeks about how serious this shin fracture is. But overall, all things being equal, and like you said, if he's healthy, I like Gibson more than Gordon, because I keep saying the week that Javonte Williams takes over is coming. This last week, Melvin Gordon he gets the touchdowns, and that's
the thing is this: Melvin Gordon, he's been hurt a couple of times, and he's been playing through injuries because he know the writing's on the wall.
If he sits down, it's gone.
It's gone. He already know if he allow him to get just one game in by himself, it's it for him. So he's got to play through these injuries, probably, which is not a good thing for him, because at some point it's going to get to a point where he's going to have to sit down somewhere. But he's doing the right thing by staying in the game, because he knows Javonte Williams is coming. So he can't sit out the game that much at the end of the day. So he was like, man, look, I'm going to play. But, I mean, at this point, Javonte Williams is going to get that job, and probably when they're out of playoff contention.
Which could be soon. Yeah,
which could be soon.
4-4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so they probably just go to a couple guys that's rookies or whatever, but we'll see.
Let's do 2 more of these and then go to the impact running backs. Who you starting? You got to pick 2. We've got I'm assuming that's Justin Herbert. I'm assuming that's Justin Herbert. Boston Scott, Melvin Gordon. Well, is it Herbert? Khalil Herbert. It's probably Khalil Herbert. Yeah. Khalil Herbert, Boston Scott, Melvin Gordon. Which 2 you going with?
I'm going Khalil Herbert, which he looked good last. No, he's hurt. Did he come back? He got hurt last week.
Is he out?
Khalil Herbert. He got hurt last week because we played.
Yeah, but I didn't see. I'm not sure. But
if he's healthy,
if he's healthy, I'll play him.
Go Khalil Herbert. Yeah, and Melvin Gordon. I'm not a real big fan of Boston Scott, honestly.
Here's my thing with Boston Scott, and I'm pretty sure I said it. Go back and watch the tape. I said Boston Scott's going to get a lot more carries than a lot of people presumed, because it seemed like that would be Gainwell's time to shine. I was like, Boston Scott's going to get involved in that a lot, and he did. But what was a surprise is Jordan Howard also got in the mix quite a bit. So between Scott, Gainwell, who seems to have been almost forgotten, he actually had, I think, maybe the most carries. I can't remember. He had the most carries or something like that. Or most snaps, I forget exactly. But he was outproduced by the other guys, especially when it came to the touchdowns. So I'd probably want to stay away from that Eagles backfield right now. And so if Herbert's healthy, I'm going to go Herbert for certain, and I'm with you on Melvin Gordon, because until there's a true Javonte Williams takeover, Melvin Gordon has been getting his carries, and so I like that one a lot. The other question is picking between Higbee and Dalton Schultz.
Actually, I'm going Higbee. Higbee, no Deshaun Jackson no more. They released him.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp and then Higbee. If you want to go in that pecking order as far as receivers, tight end type thing, I'm going Higbee over Schultz. I like Higbee over Schultz. I don't, because he didn't do anything last week. Schultz didn't do much last week.
Right.
So
I'm going to take a moment to disagree with you on the fact of the pecking order. I think you have it close. It's Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and then I'm going to say after that, I'm going with Van Jefferson. The Rams got rid of Deshaun Jackson this week, and the reason is they want to give more opportunities to Van Jefferson. I like Higbee as well because I like that situation, but for me, I'm going to go Schultz slightly just because despite all things, I think he has more opportunities. Plus, I'm looking at the matchups. Rams going against the Titans, and we got the Cowboys against the Broncos. It could really go either way.
Yeah.
But
I just think
I go slightly Schultz because I've seen more times this year where Schultz has had more production than Higbee. Higbee, if he doesn't get a touchdown, he's almost nothing to me.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the fact that you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Amari Cooper, you got Zeke, you got Pollard. I mean, it's just.
But say the same thing about the Rams. Throw in Darrell Henderson, who's been a beast. Impact players, by the way. Darrell Henderson's the first one I'm gonna talk about. But
they want to run the ball in Dallas. Yeah, I mean, they really want to run. So I don't
not
think
with Cooper Rush apparently. He threw 40 passes last week, which was amazing to me. Because also, I say when I'm right, I say when I'm wrong. I was like, you're going to see a lot of Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. They're going to just run the ball down people's throats, which was not what they did, which is crazy.
You really didn't.
Not at all.
But I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think Schultz he's too. Think about it, man. Cooper they getting at least 8 to 10. Yeah. CD getting at least 8 to 10 receptions. Receptions of games. We ain't even talking about targets.
Yeah.
So if you think about receptions, they getting at least their 8 to 10 targets a game. Receptions a game. So
I guess everything you could say about the Cowboys, you could say about the Rams. They're both of those are pass happy offenses, and I don't think either tight end. Honestly, you want my honest opinion? I don't really like either tight end.
Either one of them
in the game. But if I got to pick one of those two, I go with Schultz. But it's close.
For me, Justin. Justin, if it was somebody else out there, that you can probably grab out of those, other than those two, that probably can play a little bit more. Like if it's a Dawson Knox out there. Who's been injured, but he's coming back this week. Try to scoop him up because I'm pretty sure somebody dropped him because they thought it was out for more than 3 weeks. But he should be back this week.
Yeah,
I would try to find somebody other than that.
Potential guys. But let's move on. Welcome Orlando Lewis and Anita Bridges to the show. Thank you for joining us. You want to hit your impact running backs?
It ain't many this week. So
There's some interesting ones though, but go ahead.
Elijah Mitchell, 18 carries, 137
Right.
touchdown. I mean, that's just what it
Nah,
is.
he had a good game though.
He had a good game.
It's just
no
odd that you would start with Elijah Mitchell, but go for it.
And then they got a quarterback, Justin Fields.
Okay.
10 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Played really well. All around game, he played really well Sunday. So yeah. Najee Harris, 26 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Darrell Henderson, 14 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. I'm gonna tell you one thing about I like about Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson is getting 100 yards, or between 90 and 100 yards, only in about 15 carries a game.
Yeah.
It's not taking 20 to 25 carries for him to get his 100 yards.
He's been
which is very
productive.
impressive.
So for those that got Darrell Henderson and you could get him like mid-round, he's paying off dividends. So
definitely.
You dropped the ball. How did you not mention Michael Carter? That's your dude.
No, Michael Carter only had 77 yards rushing.
But 95 yards receiving. Yeah. And a touchdown.
You're right, but I won't go for total yards. In this group I'm looking at,
I'm going by the fact he's a running back. If you're going to throw in Najee Harris with the running backs, you might as well throw in Michael Carter as well.
I don't know why
I'm still shading. I'm shading.
Yes, you are. And you can see it right through you, which is the bad part. Lord have mercy.
Also, in the running back category, Austin Eckler, 64 yards rushing, 60 yards receiving. So, yeah.
But I told you about Michael Carter. I told you Michael Carter was
Michael
that
Carter,
guy.
and that's why I thought you were going to mention him. But, I pick up your slack.
That's what you're there for.
Let's hit another joint, and then we'll go to the wide receivers. Justin wants to know, did he win? Is he going to win this week? He's got Matthew Stafford, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, I think, is going to have to get that work this week. We'll talk about why.
Definitely.
James Robinson, he's got Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones, Kyle Pitts, DJ Moore. He has Stephens, defense, and Graham Gano. He's playing against somebody who has Dak, Najee, Chase Edmonds, Amari Cooper, Chase Claypool, Evan Ingram, Kadarius Toney, the Falcons defense, which is not even a real thing, and Matt Gay. Who you got?
I think you can win this. I like Stafford. I like Aaron Jones. I like J-Rob, Tyreek, obviously. I think the biggest question mark, but it's a good one, I think Julio is going to really start getting a lot of work now because of the fact that obviously, Henry's out. So I think Julio's going to get, between him and A.J. Brown, oh my gosh, they about to get so much work. It's going to be crazy because they're going to try to get that running game together, which we'll talk about later. Pitts, I think, he didn't play well last week, but he has
surprisingly,
to he has to step up this week with the news.
Let's take a pause on that for a second. Well, we'll wait till we get to NFL news to talk about, because I want to talk. I got some questions for you about this Calvin Ridley situation and how that's going to go. So we'll pause on that one.
Yeah. I think he got it. DJ Moore, I think he gets this one. I don't like the other guys. A couple players like Claypool don't show up most games.
Right.
Evan Ingram is always hurt. So you go into the game with him, he's bound to get hurt at some point in the game.
Right.
I like Kadarius Toney. I think he going with Sterling Shepard out. I think he gonna ball out this week. Falcons defense terrible. That's who I don't know why he's playing Falcons defense, but okay. And is a kicker. Kickers are kickers at this point. You know how I feel about kickers.
Hey, kickers can win you games, buddy. Don't disrespect.
They can. Whatever.
I disagree with that.
See, over there. Our producer says kickers are very important.
Kickers won me games. But
not this year, but kickers have won her game.
No.
Now I'm shading on everybody. My bad.
Kickers are interchangeable.
Thanks for agreeing with there and then taking it away. Appreciate you.
No problem. But I'm gonna agree with you. I think this one is a good game for you, Justin. It could be close, but I think overall your squad's stronger. Because there's several players I'm looking at on his roster that to me aren't going to really. They're not consistent, and like I said, the biggest thing for me is consistency week in and week out. And he's the person you're playing has a lot of inconsistent players. By the way, I looked to check, and I don't see an issue with Khalil Herbert. So my assumption, at least at this point, is that he's probably good to go.
Okay.
For this week.
I do know he left the game early.
Yeah.
Last week, so yeah.
I forgot. I do remember that as well. And speaking of people that are potentially hurt, looking at on this roster that Justin's playing against, I also remember Amari Cooper is having a hamstring situation, which could limit his ability. Chase Claypool is always limited just because.
Yeah.
Because Ben Roethlisberger is now just a dink and dunker, which is the saddest thing in the world. And we already talked about the Falcons' defense doesn't exist. Evan Ingram doesn't exist at all either. So yeah,
not even, man. Lord have mercy.
You better win, Justin, because your team is way better. So
yeah, way better this week. So
Justin also says he agrees that Dalton Schultz and Higbee is a toss-up. It's really close between them. And Julio Jones is always hurt. Let's hit the wide receivers.
So the wide receivers obviously is Deebo Sanders.
Of course. 6
receptions, 171. Nice no touchdown they called back.
Yeah.
Because he stepped out of bounds. But AJ Brown, 10 receptions, 155 and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett had a wonderful game.
Finally back.
12 receptions, 142. No touchdown though. Chris Godwin, 8 receptions, 140 and a touchdown. Amari Cooper, 8 for 122 on a touch. Cooper Kupp, 7 receptions, 115.
Cooper Kupp is every week.
In the touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 6 receptions, 112, no touchdown. But it was so many receivers, man. I could have kept going all night. So I had to kind of limit it.
Forgot to say that needs mention is Michael Pitman Jr. We talked a lot about him last week, and he came in and did his thing, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 targets. Like I said, as long as T.Y. Hilton is out, which is pretty much all the time, Michael Pittman is going to feast the remainder of this year. He did more than Jerry Jeudy, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there because that was a big conversation. But I still like Jeudy. In fact, I picked up Jeudy in one league, man, because he was somehow available. I guess somebody was disgusted by his lack of production. Well, actually, I think they dropped him while he was hurt, and he was still nobody had picked him up when he came back. So I picked him up when he got back in. So we'll see.
He should be all right this week.
He'll get better.
Also, tight ends used to finish it off. T.J. Hockenson, 10 receptions, 89 yards, and Dallas Goedert, 6 for 72 yards.
Yeah. I would say I'm going to throw in 2 more tight ends, and this is for you, Justin, and anybody else that might be in need of tight end help because Hockenson is out this week because of a bye week. If you need to fill in, here's some names that did well this week. They're not great players, but they could be bye-week fill-ins, and they've been good the last couple of weeks. Dan Arnold, Jacksonville Jaguars, who put in 68 yards. He had 10 targets, and you can definitely find this guy on waivers. They're going to play against the Jaguars are playing the Bills this week. They're going to lose by a lot, and so you're going to see a lot of passes going. So Dan Arnold, it could be a good – I know it's not waiver wire pickup time, but – just know he did well as a tight end, and that's why I bring him up now. And the other one is Pat Freiermuth for
Pittsburgh.
For Pittsburgh. He's a rookie, and he's balling out the past 2 weeks. He's gotten 7 targets the last 2 games. And for tight ends, they're pretty much tight end dependent unless you're those top guys. So you want a tight end that's getting a lot of targets because that can lead to not just yards, but more so touchdowns. So look for him if they're available, and especially for those that are in Dynasty Leagues. If you're in the Dynasty League, Pat Freiermuth should be gone anyway. But if he still happens to be available, he's a rookie, so you can build off for years. So, yeah, those are the impact guys. We got a couple of questions coming in. I think some of these we're going to get to anyway. I see Anita Bracey asking about our thoughts for when we get to the new segment. Jameis Winston, Derrick Henry, Henry Ruggs, Phillip Rivers, Odell Beckham. It's like she's reading our notes.
Yes,
Odell Beckham. We've got all of those guys covered for you. And thoughts on Calvin Ridley. Yep, that's coming up too. Is he going the Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka mental health route? And then on Aaron Rodgers COVID. Yep, all that stuff. So Nita, you're right there. So just look back because we're going to talk about each one of those things when we get to it. Do you want to do some waiver wires before we do news? Do you have any waiver wires?
I don't have any right now.
Well, I just told y'all the two that y'all need
Yeah,
for tight
you told
ends.
them.
But there's some other waiver wire people out there only because of
mean-
the injury, and it's kind of related to the news. So we can go straight to the news, and that's really what makes some of these guys available because of the fact that there's so many injuries that happened this past week. That's gonna kind of dictate who you're gonna go to.
Yeah, because all that's tying into it. We got to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
So let's hit news then.
Let's start here.
Let's start here.
Yeah. Let's start with Henry Ruggs. Let's get this out of the way. Because this one here, I kind of think I'm gonna just put it out there. His career is over, plain and simple. His life is probably over. He's probably going to jail. This guy, if y'all don't know the story, this guy literally he was speeding at 156 miles per hour on not an interstate, but a street. And he killed, I think she was 24 years old. 23.
I think she's 23.
23 years old. And they said his alcohol limit was 2 times over the legal limit. And I don't know if you've seen his mugshot, but his mugshot looked crazy because he got like a neck brace on and it's got like his eyes black. So, my question for you as a Raiders fan, I know you wasn't a big Henry Ruggs fan, but personally, I think
not true. But I'll let you finish.
What makes a person with that much money and that career just go out and do something like that? Because for me, if I'm that intoxicated, I'm calling an Uber, I'm calling a friend, I'm calling somebody to come pick me up. He gotta have somebody there to say, you know what, man, I'm gonna take you home or something. Because there's no way you driving that fast and drunk on top of that.
Yeah.
So somebody got to be there to say, man, I'm gonna take you home. Evidently, he didn't have that guy in his corner.
He did, honestly. But here's the deal. The biggest thing about this is judgment, and it was just a complete lack of good judgment and good decision making. Because, like you said, the full backwards. Apparently, he was at Top Golf, playing 4 rounds. He actually sent some images to Derek Carr and Hunter Renfrow while he was there, asking them to help him to sort of like evaluate his swing, his golf swing. And this was just a couple of hours before. And so what they're saying now is he left from Top Golf and probably was at a friend's house and then was speeding back, like you said, 156 miles per hour, and twice the legal limit for alcohol in Nevada. And the whole thing, you mentioned, did he have the people in the corner? He doesn't have to have anyone in his corner. For years now, the NFL has had a thing for people to call. They can call. They can have somebody come pick them up. They can do it. This isn't a thing where people weren't there, because if you didn't have a close friend or confidant, you had someone you could call. Like you said, you could do it Uber. There's many different opportunities that could have been done. This is just the importance of being a professional. Is not just your ability to run fast. You mentioned I wasn't a big Henry Ruggs fan. I just simply was of the opinion that Henry Ruggs wasn't going to be the best wide receiver because his skill set was limited. He's fast, and that's what the Raiders like to have. And those guys have traditionally not been the biggest players, but they open up the offense. All of that football stuff is irrelevant at this point because, like you said, he's facing a minimum of 2 years and up to 20 years for a fatality, and that's just with the drunk driving that ended in that fatal crash. They also have charges because of him injuring his passenger, his girlfriend, the mother of his 3-year-old child was with him. They have charges they're probably going to bring because there was a loaded gun in the car. So it's a mess, and it all goes back to judgment. It's like you say, he had the money, the fame, all the opportunities to build not just for himself but for his 3-year-old daughter, I believe. But it's just snap decisions of a moment of, oh, this would be fine, not thinking through things. And like I said, professionalism is about more than just your talent. Professionalism is the ability to make good judgment calls on and off the field. And I'm just going to leave it at he definitely showed that he was not making great judgment calls off the field, because this is a tragedy that didn't have to happen. So, I mean, it's like it's a woman who lost her life. Her family is grieving this moment. His family is going to be grieving this moment because, like you said, he's probably played his last football game. That's the least of his concerns. He's going to potentially be in jail for many years, and it's all completely unnecessary. So it's just a sad story all around. So.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and
yeah.
You can't. I can't really sit here and feel bad for him because that situation could have been avoided
completely. Yeah,
completely. And he felt the need. First of all, your child is in the car.
Well, his child wasn't. I don't think the child was with them. When they did it, it's just
still,
him.
Somebody
just
else,
him and his girlfriend. Yeah, but his girlfriend and the mother of his child was in the car. And I'm with you. Why are you ever driving at that speed, especially if you're intoxicated? So
I don't feel bad for him. I mean, at that point in your life, and you have that type of stature where you're making that amount of money, you have this, and you're in this profession.
Yeah,
it doesn't make. You have to be professional, like you say, on and off the field, no matter what, because people are looking at you no matter what. So for you to do something like this, for me, I don't feel bad for him, and whatever he get. I mean, and I'm sorry I feel that way, but at the end of the day, he killed somebody.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's hard to sympathize when a woman who was just in her car with her. I think she lived somewhere nearby. Her and her dog are in the car, and he hit the car so fast that the fuel line split and caught on fire. They burnt to death in their car. So, I mean, I feel sympathy for anybody just because they're a human, but he is the least person to have sympathy for in this situation. I feel for him and his family though, because all the opportunities that could have been there, and because of a split-second stupid decision, he threw it all away. And the only person he can really blame at this point is himself, because like you said, it was just unnecessary.
Yeah,
but
let's
move
to
some other more footballish news.
Phillip Rivers is open to playing for the Saints.
Not having it, but continue.
I'm trying to see how I feel about this.
Right.
I actually think Phillip Rivers he played well last year. Phillip Rivers threw for over 4,000 yards last year.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers isn't bad.
I think he don't got the long ball anymore. He can't throw it.
Not at all.
But with the situation, I'm gonna say this: Taysom Hill is not the complete answer to the Saints right now. He's not a quarterback. Trevor Siemian, he's not the answer. I mean, if I'm them, I'm going after Cam.
Nope.
I'm thinking about Phillip Rivers.
Nope. On Phillip Rivers, can we laugh at the irony? This is the same Phillip Rivers who didn't want to play for the Saints when he came into the NFL and kind of pushed his way to the Chargers. Now wants to play for the Saints. Okay.
Look, everybody got feelings change after a while, man. So you gotta. He want to get back. He want to get back in the league. I mean,
right.
I still wouldn't go Trevor Siemian. Those are not the answers. I'm sorry. Taysom Hill is not the answer. I can't see it. They need to get a quarterback. Obviously, they're going quarterback probably this year in the draft, or they're going to try to get a quarterback. Yeah. Because they have to move forward. They have to get a quarterback moving forward. So we don't know. But
I think he may not be the answer, but I think Taysom Hill is the only choice they really have. Because Trevor Siemian, I mean, props to him. He had a good week last week.
Yeah, definitely.
He's still Trevor Siemian. So that can't be he might be a solution for this week, depending on how quickly Taysom Hill can get back in from his concussion. But you're paying Taysom Hill a lot of money, and it was a down-to-the-wire quarterback contest between Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. So now I think you have to go with him and see, hey, can he do this job? I'm with you. I don't really think it's great, but we saw Taysom Hill come in last year, and he performed all right. From my fantasy football viewpoint, he was all right.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little thing called film. So
no.
By him playing last year, they have film on him,
Yeah.
and they kind of expect to know. They already know what he can do and what he can't do. And a lot of that was Michael Thomas last year.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna be missing, right?
Yeah, it was a safety blanket film. Speaking of that, we're gonna roll to the next topic. Michael Thomas he didn't play this year anyway, but he's not coming back at all this year. So I'm not surprised by that because I don't think he wants to be there. I get a sense like he wants out.
It's hard to say for me because so much of what that start off they say they work through. And at least in his letter, he was like, yeah, I can't wait to get back. And he said he wants to play for the greatest fans that I assume are the New Orleans Who Dat Nation. But I don't know I think everything that they were going through at the beginning of the season, they worked out. And this seems to be an actual legitimate, like he's injured, he's not coming back. But I guess we'll find out next year whether those rumbles of discontent come back again. And we'll see whether he's playing with him. Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you, though. What route do you see them going at quarterback? Do you see him going rookie, or do you see him going, like, trying to find a vet to pick up? Because that team is not really built for a rookie at the moment.
Right.
But do you see them going, like, some type of veteran next year that they can actually bring in? Do you see that?
I'm trying to think of the vets that are out there. If there's anyone of interest, I'm just looking here. Nita's reporting that they're not calling Cam, and honestly, I wouldn't either. I don't think Cam's skill set works for what Sean Payton wants to do with that offense. At least not Cam Newton's current skill set. Maybe a much younger Cam, but I don't think Cam's a good fit. I don't think Phillip Rivers is a good fit as well. I'm saying he's talking about he's coaching high school.
Yeah, he is. He coaches his son football team. You don't see any.
I'm trying to think of the rookie QBs that are out there and whether they fit. I don't think they have I think their best hope is for Jameis Winston's knee to heal very well, and they try it again. They hit the reset and go back at it next year. I think that's the best option. I would not be surprised if they went for a rookie in this draft, but I don't think they want to start that rookie if they get him in there. And I don't see a vet out there now that would fit the role unless Aaron Rodgers is going to go down there next year.
You see Russell Wilson going?
No.
There's been a lot of
there's been a lot of that around, but until I see Russell Wilson going, I think he's going to stay put in Seattle, but I mean but those are the kind of guys they would need for the offense that they want to run. Yeah.
With Michael Thomas, you definitely need a quarterback of that nature out there to try to get it back to where it used to be. So, but speaking of Russell Wilson, we're gonna roll into some Russell Wilson news.
Go for it.
He is getting the pins removed from his hand, so he should be back not this week, but probably next week. Do you see them? Because they didn't do too bad with him gone. They won one.
Geno Smith, you were hating on my man last week.
Geno Smith is terrible.
I almost put Geno Smith in my impact players just because, but
I know you was, but he's not. He's not going to make it on this list. I can still see them. Do you see them making a playoff push when he come back? Or
no, I think in that division is too tough. They're not going to make it this year, but I think they'll make it interesting.
I think so too.
Yeah.
This news here kind of hurts my heart a little bit because I'm a huge fan of this guy. Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
He is out for the season with a foot injury. But I will say this: the man hurt his foot, came back in the game, and still played. So he's built different, man. And then they said he actually may come back this year.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not necessarily done for the year. He's done for about 10 weeks. He maybe comes back for the playoffs. He's done for your fantasy football purposes.
Yeah, but definitely he's out.
And I guess I should apologize because my father said I jinxed his play because he has Derrick Henry in one of the leagues. And I did say that I did not believe Derrick Henry would come back strong this year because he's a human being. And I said human beings don't come off a 2,000-yard season and do the sort of things that we saw Derrick Henry doing. And so just when I started to say, okay, Derrick Henry's not human, he is unbelievable and he's going to kill it this year, he gets hurt the very next week. And so I might be the jinx, and I apologize.
I still think he's not human because
he
played 2 more series with a bad foot.
He's still a little bit more human than he was last week, but still not
I don't
really
think
human.
If he can come back this year and actually be productive,
that would be crazy.
That would be absolutely crazy because he's a machine at that point, man. Like that's crazy that this guy he broke his foot, right? He broke his foot. He had surgery the next day, and he can come back in 6 to 10 weeks. Imagine.
We talked about his workout footage. What the guy does. What some scientist needs to get in that DNA and make some more of him because he's ridiculous. I see them say he did a Willis Reed number. Yeah, he just came out and did his thing, but. Best of luck to him. Sorry for all those that have him on your team because honestly, the way he was going to hit another 2,000-yard season, and I'm sad that we're not going to see it because that was just going to be insane. Yeah, he was going to do 22 over a little bit over 2,200. They had forecasted him for, but it's bad. It's kind of bad for the league, in like real life, not fantasy, because of the fact that league. He was huge for the league, promoting them and just in general. And like it's gonna hurt definitely, but hopefully it get well. Derrick come back healthy and make a push if you can. Speaking of his replacement, they signed the great Adrian Peterson. I don't know what to expect from Adrian Peterson. I will say this: I picked him up in one. I was going to ask you: are you recommending waiver wire pickup of Adrian Peterson?
Yes, I would. Just off of sheer volume, if he could come in and actually start, he's volume. He's gonna get volume. RB2, RB3 maybe, but off volume because they like to run the ball.
Right.
I think he can, and he's trying to He's trying to get like 400 and something yards to break a record. I think it's the Russian record or something he needs to.
He's been trying to catch Emmitt Smith.
He needs 420 yards to catch Emmitt Smith, and he's trying to get it. So I think he went to the right place to get it. So definitely,
I agree on the fact that it's the right team, in as much as they're a run heavy guy. I don't know whether I believe in Adrian Peterson at his age. Making that big of a contribution. We saw him last year interfering with DeAndre Swift. So the question is he gonna get, because they had Jeremy McNichols there. I can't go with the split between them. I want to stay away from both of those guys until I see something from, I don't know. To me, it just seems ridiculous that they got this 80-year-old running back and brought him in.
He called the man 80. Lord have mercy.
We'll see how Adrian Peterson does. I didn't pick him up anywhere because I said I want no part of it. Joking, I think. Nina says that Anthony Davis should get Derek.
That is true
because he is made of paper, and. Yeah, I don't think. I think Anthony Davis would end his career just doing one of Derrick Henry's workouts. So welcome Nick to the show. I see he has a question. 10-team league, 4 PPR. Should he trade Khalil Herbert and Justin Jefferson for Adam Thielen and Damian Harris? Ooh, that is interesting. What do you think? Justin Jefferson hasn't been great. I mean, he's been good, but compared to what we saw last year, Adam Thielen has been the better of the two for me. And
Herbert,
and I love Damian Harris.
I would, because I'm a big Thielen fan.
Yeah.
I like Jefferson too, but I'm a huge Thielen fan.
Yeah.
Harris has been playing well. Herbert is gonna lose that job to
When Monty gets
Montgomery.
back, he's gone.
Yeah, so I would make the trade just because you're getting. It's like you're swapping Jefferson and Thielen
Right.
pretty much because they're on the same team. And Damian Harris is gonna be that guy the whole season over Herbert. So I would while Herbert's hot, I would definitely trade him now and get a reliable
Here's
one
the
for the whole
craziest part
season.
of it. It kind of just went without you noticing. I said I like Damian Harris. I have never, in the history of fantasy football,
Like the
said
Patriots
I
running
like
back.
a Patriots running back. And
That is true, people. I'm telling you, that is
this
true.
is history in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, I love Damian Harris. I love the way they're using them. I like the Vikings offense hasn't been what it was what we saw last year, and we I think expected them to be. And so with it being a bit muted, Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen are practically the same guy, like you said. So that's just an even switch. And like you said, Khalil Herbert's going to lose that job, or at very least lose a lot of carries once Monty gets back. So I do that trade in a heartbeat. So yeah, Nick, I like the question. Thanks for the question. Make that trade if you still can.
Appreciate it. I did want to have. It's another piece of news. CMC coming back off of IR.
Maybe for
he's
real
returning.
this time because they teased
Maybe
that
for
before.
real.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because I need him in my league in one league. I don't need him, but I mean, I'd be glad to have him back.
Right.
And Odell. Let's touch on this for a few minutes.
Let's.
Odell Beckham Sr. Posted something on Instagram and said, "I'm normally quiet, but not today." And he posted, I think it was week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6 of Baker Mayfield completely not even looking his son's way, which is Odell Beckham Jr. And I actually watched the video before we came on, and I wanted to see what it was all about. And it was really bad on Baker Mayfield's part. It seemed like he literally just looked him off for no reason. Like he just didn't want to give him the ball. And the times he did throw to him, it was either he threw it to his back or he threw it too far left, or he just threw it to where it was impossible for him to actually catch the ball. I agree with his dad a whole lot. And I don't know if it was meant for Baker to do it that way, or he got some type of gripe with Baker or whatever. But I'm not saying Odell's Odell from 5-6 years ago, but if he's open, you give him a chance. And I think they got some problems. I think they're gonna end up releasing him, and so he can go find work some other place. My question is a 2-part question for you.
Okay.
How do you feel about that situation? Do you think Baker's wrong, or do you think it's some type of differences there between those two guys? And where do you see him landing, and can he be successful in that next spot?
Well, the go with I'm actually go to I think the second part of is there something between them? I don't know. Baker Mayfield said that when he comes back, they can work through. Well, actually, I think he said if he comes back, they can work through whatever issue it is. So maybe there is something there. But the biggest part of this, there's 2 big parts. So I don't know which one's the biggest. But the biggest one I'm going to start with is the fact of your father putting this out there rubs me the wrong way. 'Cause I've never been a big Odell Beckham Jr. guy to begin with. And I've said I think he's highly overrated. His last Pro Bowl was, 6 years ago, something like that. He gets a lot of credit for stuff that's almost half a decade ago.
Early in his career.
Yeah, and the fact that his father's putting this out, it's to me just passive-aggressive bull because, come on, you're a grown man. Your father putting this thing out there. It looks bad for you. That one just annoyed me. Like, if my father was, like, putting on social media stuff for my boss, I'd be embarrassed, and I'd be ashamed about it. So for me, Odell Beckham, they need to release him. I said there was another biggest part, and that is the subject of tonight is the trade deadline. How on God's green earth did they not trade this dude? Because he has not been a part of the Cleveland offense almost since he got there. And we've said several years that Jarvis Landry is the best wide receiver they have, or at least the number one guy fantasy for you to have on that team. And then probably some tight ends and the running backs really make the show go in Cleveland. So for me, the fact that they didn't try to get something for Odell Beckham before the trade deadline blows my mind because he's not part of the offense, and he hasn't been for a long time. So why is he even there? I guess that's my biggest question.
Well, I think I did read that some of it's financial.
Yeah.
Financial as far as his salary. So they didn't outright trade him because I don't think a lot of teams want to pick up his salary that he's making.
Counter. Who's paying Jared Goff right now?
The Rams.
There you go.
But the Rams, but I got a whole nother issue with the Rams we're going to touch on.
Okay.
The Rams are a different team. The Rams, they don't, for some reason, they live by a whole different salary cap. So we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But with the whole Odell thing, they said that releasing him, like they let him miss practice today.
Yeah, because they excused him from practice.
They excused him because they wanted to talk to him on what they could possibly do so they won't have to eat a lot of his salary.
Yeah.
So, and that's part of the problem. If they cut him today, they're going to have to eat a lot of that salary that he's making, and they don't want to. So they're trying to figure out the only way he can get released is and not have, as far as salary wise, if he say, look, I want completely out. I don't care about the salary. I want out. I just want to go to another team, period.
Right.
And they'll just say, all right, boom, we'll cut you. We don't have to pay the salary. That's why they haven't released him yet. So, but I think he's going to get released in the next couple of days. Yeah. They're just trying to work out a plan of how the salary is going to work out.
Yeah. All I know is, to me, it would be worth anything just to get him off the team. I see Nita saying that he should have stayed with in the Big Apple. I don't think they want him. He is the epitome of a diva guy, much like people didn't like Terrell Owens, but Terrell Owens still produced even when he was obliterating teams. For me, I just don't like Odell Beckham Jr., and I didn't like him with the Giants. I don't like him with Cleveland. I don't know why Cleveland signed him to begin with, but whatever.
Well, I think the thing part of that was our good friend from our good friend Keith. He's from New York, so he kind of knows how that Giant organization work a little bit, and he watches football. But he was saying a lot of those guys, especially the owner, he doesn't like flashy guys. Yeah. And Odell's flashy, obviously. He likes to do his thing when like pregame and running around doing certain things. They don't like stuff like that. So they want guys that's gonna come in, that's blue collar, that's gonna do their job and kind of go home or whatever type thing. It's teams that I think Odell could go to he could be actually good for them. Green Bay is one of them. I think he'll fit perfect in Green Bay. With Aaron Rodgers.
They already brought in Randall Cobb. What are you talking about?
Randall Cobb, really?
They're great.
Stop it.
No?
No, not even.
Okay.
No. Well, he rarely sees the field, if anything. But I just think it's more of the contract. But I think they say he's gonna get released, and they say it's two teams. They say the Saints and the Las Vegas Raiders are interested in breaking Odell in. Yeah,
it keeps getting worse and worse for the Raiders this year. I see why both teams would be interested in them because they're both having some wide receiver guys. But if anybody's listening to me, Odell Beckham Jr. is not your answer. Just stop it. Just stop it. But
I keep hearing the Niners too, but I don't know about that.
Why? They don't use the wide receivers they have. Except for Debo, of course.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay.
Let's hit some of this. Justin has said he likes the Chiefs to win. I had the Packers winning this week until the Aaron Rodgers news came out. Even our Kansas City producer was not going to pick him. I don't know who I'm picking in that game right now. I don't know, Justin. I can't tell you.
Well, I had Green Bay too, and then when the news broke, I was like, man, I just messed my picks up. I was like, well,
that took a
we'll see.
no-brainer to whatever. But so okay, I'm glad. Maybe I follow Justin's advice. He seems like the Chiefs. Maybe that'll be my pick. I guess I'll find out when we're shooting the 40-second play clock tomorrow who I like. So I have no idea. He said he has the Packers going to the Super Bowl. I have the Rams going to the Super Bowl, and I have them even more now. And let's stay with our trade deadlines. Von Miller goes to make one of the best defenses even better. What you like? How you feel about that trade? And I know you hate it because it's the Rams, but spew your hate.
This is not hate. This is purely not hate.
Go for it.
This is not hate. I just want to know, how do you manage to get all of these guys and not care about the salary cap, and you still paying Jared Goff $24 million to go away? I'm trying to figure out, you're playing Jared Goff, you're paying Aaron Donald, you're paying your corner, you're paying Von Miller, you're paying your O-lineman. I'm trying to figure out what is going on here. Cooper Kupp has got to be getting something. I mean, Robert Woods got to be getting something. What am I missing here? Do they just
money ain't a thing? They just say, yo, we Super Bowl or bust. And I love it as a fan. I wish more teams would be like, to heck with the salary cap. I don't care about anything other than getting in the Super Bowl, especially since the Super Bowl is in Los Angeles this year. They're just, as they say, balls to the walls, foot on the gas. Let's go.
Oh my God! Look, man.
I know you're mad because it's in your division, but Justin is saying they overpaid for Von Miller, and yeah, they didn't. This is a team that did not need Von Miller.
It didn't need
at
him.
all.
Like, it was unnecessary. Why do you even get Von Miller? And they don't have a draft pick for the next 7 years.
Hey, well, they
don't have a first, they don't have a second, they don't have a third, they don't have a fourth. I just don't understand.
Winning.
I see this. I'm like, what is going on? How do they get these players?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Is insane. But I wish them the best with it, because Nita says the owner has the loot. They're paying, the owner is going to pay the extra money. Is what Justin said. I don't know what their strategy is. All I know is that must be a fun job to have as a coach, because it's like, yeah, I need this, I need that, and they're just throwing money at it. It's like, let's go. So.
I mean, look, I just don't like. And the thing is, what's crazy? So I was talking about it the other day, and I was like, so eventually they're gonna have to blow this team up.
Yeah,
eventually. And they're probably gonna have to blow it up at the end of this year.
They need to win the Super Bowl this year.
They have to win the Super Bowl this year. It's a must that they win the Super Bowl this year, and they're gonna have to blow this team up. But they even came out and said, "Yeah, we're trying to keep Von Miller for the next couple of years." I'm like, where are you gonna find the money at? I got dig up to where? What's going? Y'all printing money,
making it rain up in Los Angeles. That's what they're doing. So.
I mean, God dang, what am I missing here, man? This is crazy, man. You don't see teams spinning like this. You don't.
No. Not in football. In baseball, you might see
but
that.
Not in football, though. Definitely not in football. They are spending money out.
I see Nita feeling some reason to bring up the Yankees. Said George Steinbrenner wrote the book on this. Spend that cash. They don't care.
Look, man.
They don't care.
Justin's right. They playing a video game in Madden GM mode right now. This is insanely crazy, because I do not understand
there are no consequences. But let's clarify for the fans, for the viewers. You're hating because you know that completely eliminates your 49ers from having any chance of winning as long as that team is put together. So you're hoping they break apart.
Hating. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Yeah,
we beat them last year. With that same roster on defense. I just want to let you know this, right? Except Von Miller.
You beat them last year.
We beat them twice last year.
But the offense is what was wrong with the Rams last year. This year they got Matt Stafford there. Holler at me at the end of this year, and
I'm gonna I'm gonna holler at you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Cause we play them in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna holler at you in 2 weeks when we beat
When y'all
them.
lose, okay, cool.
Okay, whatever. That's cool.
Cool.
Like they hate. Yeah, that's why the Red Sox lost. But I don't know nothing about
Oh,
baseball.
that was unnecessary.
It wasn't. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I going back in these comments, I see Nita wished the Braves success, or something. She said something about the Braves. So congratulations to the Braves. She's down there in Atlanta, so they're all going wild and crazy. I know she said she was rooting for Dusty Baker and the Astros. Baseball is over for me, so I don't care. That was mean though. That Red Sox thing that was unwarranted.
It's a little brotherly nub. That's it. Don't worry about it. It's
That's
all
why
good.
Justin says the Rams are going to win by 10.
Justin,
yeah,
you're a Jets fan. Let's keep it real now.
Hey, the Jets beat the Bengals, so they're celebrating.
Right now. They haven't won anything.
The
in a
Jets
long
don't have
time.
to win another game this year. So,
you're right about
they
that.
are set.
You're absolutely right about that.
Let's see what else we got on trade. Do we have any? Did we get the? Oh, we did. We did miss one story. Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley. He's going into. He's taking some time off.
Yeah.
Mental health, which is real.
Yeah.
Mental health is definitely real. And I'm with him. I mean, I support him in all means. If you got to take some time out to kind of do what you got to do, take care of yourself, get your mental right. I mean, by all means, you have to step away sometimes to make sure you're okay. And as long as the team supports him, really, it shouldn't matter what nobody else think. Because maybe he got something going on that he don't want to talk to about people. I mean, he don't want to let the media know. And I get it. Sometimes you just got to step away and handle your business and come back, which I'm assuming the Falcons are allowing him to do this and still pay him, which being paid shouldn't even matter at this point. It's your mental health. Yeah. So you got to take care of yourself. So I'm with him. I support him. By all means, you got to do what you got to do. So definitely.
I'm with you 100%. I had Calvin Ridley as the best wide receiver this year. Obviously, that didn't take place. But when he made that announcement, it didn't read that he was done for the year, but I kind of get the feeling we might not see him anymore this year. And like you said, but the biggest thing and the most important thing is always you got to take care of your mental before anything else, because what good is all the money and everything if your mind ain't right?
Exactly.
So I'm supportive of it. I saw Michael Thomas writing a letter, and that probably should have been my first. That's my first clue that Michael Thomas was done. He's co-signing on him, saying he got you, which I thought was a really nice move on Michael Thomas's part. But I mean, it's football, and I think we said this before. It's football. It's a game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That's all it is.
None of that stuff is as important.
I mean, honestly, and that's the problem. I mean, some of the guys in the league nowadays, it's football, but they don't take care of their mental when it's time. When it's time to take care of the mental, it's a little bit too late to take care of your mental, because it takes me back to a story. Who was it? Refresh my memory. Houston quarterback. Well, not Houston, but was Houston at one time.
Talking about
Steve McNair. Steve McNair. Similar issues he had, but mental issues wasn't really thought of back then at that point in NFL. That's why you still
continue. You saw that, Justin.
Okay.
Don't I'm about to hit the button. Continue.
So I mean, Steve McNair went through the same thing. Was type of mental thing. But he didn't get the help that he needed, and I'm assuming he took his life, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, it was his girlfriend.
The girlfriend,
his mistress at the time.
Yeah, he was going through some things, and it didn't work out for him. So you got to have that mental correct for you to be stable on the field and off the field, and that's to anything you do in life. I mean, that's regular life too.
Yeah.
So mental is definitely, something that you got to get right.
Whether
So I'm not mad at them at all.
I'm not mad at it at all. I wish
I
them
don't
the
think
best. Justin says, "Do you think how does it affect Kyle Pitts for the rest of the year?"
I think Kyle Pitts is going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I mean, Russell Gage got to step up.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. I think they should have went after a receiver in the
there. They can have Odell Beckham. There you go. Put him down there. You don't want him in Las Vegas.
I'm just saying. I mean, hey, anything works. I just think they still need him. But we'll see. I actually think he's coming back this year, though.
You think Calvin really plays some more?
I think he's gonna take 2-3 weeks off,
yeah.
get his mental right, and I think he'll be back. I think that's definitely something he's gonna sit back and reflect on, try to figure out what's going on with himself, and come back and freshly mind, because they said somebody else did that.
Yeah.
They said another guy from another team sat out for 3 weeks. I think his name was Jonathan something.
Yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I hope he does get back in. Like you said, the biggest thing is he has the support of his team, and I'm hoping like his family and his real support system is good. I think that Calvin Ridley's absence will not affect Pitts too poorly. It's always good to have someone else to get the attention of the defense. So Kyle Pitts is probably going to be that number one guy now. But Cordell Patterson, I think he's going to probably play a lot more wide receiver than he has, and maybe even Mike Davis can get
his life together,
play as a running back again. Mike Davis had a decent game last week, so maybe we're going to see the adjustment to the offense that way. So if Cordell Patterson's out there, that takes some pressure off Kyle Pitts, and like you said, if Russell Gage can get things going, I think they can be all right until he gets back. Hopefully we'll see him this year. Let's jump back a little bit. I hope I didn't skip over too many of these. I see Justin saying he's got Kirk Cousins, Alvin Kamara, Melvin Gordon, Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Rashad Bateman, who I saw you picked up this week, by the way.
Yes, I did.
Kyle Pitts, Khalil Herbert. He has the Pittsburgh defense, and Dan Carlson, yay, greatest kicker there is. He's playing against Josh Allen, Chase Edmonds, Cordell Patterson, Chase Claypool, Beasley, who I also saw you picked up this week.
Hey man, you've been watching me, man.
I watch every move you make. He's got Parker, Mark Andrews, Zeke. This team's getting better. At first, I was like, this is a blowout. His team's getting better when you added Zeke in there.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears defense and Harrison Butker. What you got? I still like Justin's team's a little bit better. I see some problems on.
I don't like Edmonds. Edmonds has
been a disappointment. We talked about that before.
Patterson I like. Right. Claypool is too hit and miss.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley, he's coming along, being that Knox is out.
Yeah. But
Parker's
Knox could be coming
again.
back, and that's gonna.
Parker hurt again.
Parker's always hurt.
Yeah.
He stays
Andrews, obviously, Andrews is good. Zeke, the Bears defense, that's a head scratcher for me. If Khalil Mack is not playing, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You should win that one because you got Kirk, AK-41, Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is the real head scratcher for me for you. Diggs, Murray, if he should play this week, so he should be good. Bateman should be good. Pitts, I like it.
Yeah.
About a little bit though, but not about much.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be a close one. Especially, what's going to be interesting to me is two of the players in this game, one on Justin's team and one on the other. I'm really interested to see how Alvin Kamara does this week, and I'm interested to see what Zeke, because we'll see what happens in Dallas. Whether they get Dak, I think they're trying for him to play, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they say he's gonna practice in full.
Yeah,
he should have practiced in full.
I mean, he was looking good in the pregame last week, but they didn't want to risk him messing up his calf any further. So Yeah, those are my really interesting to see how those goes. Yes, AB is dead to me. Yes, I agree.
Oh God, AB is dead to me, Lord.
Justin came in. Lane Johnson. That's the other other name we were trying to think of. Going back to the mental health issue.
Yeah, I know it was something Johnson or
Yeah.
something like that. So, but Lane Johnson was out about 3 weeks
Yeah.
for mental health, and he came back. So he was. They say after that 3 weeks he kind of felt better. He felt great after that. So I think it's not going to be long, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a couple weeks.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Here's some more. Do you start Waddle, DJ Moore, Darrell Williams, or Javonte? PPR, is it only one? Do we have to choose one out of this?
If it's one, I'm going Waddle.
If
he gets targets, man.
If it's one, I'm eliminating Darrell and Javonte Williams because, like we said earlier, the Javonte Williams thing, it depends on what Melvin Gordon does. Darrell Williams. Hey, can we give some love to the new guy? the new one. Did you watch the Chiefs game?
Talking about Gore? About Gore?
You would have to have watched the Chiefs post game report. Andy Reid was like, we had some good production from Darrell Williams and the new one. I was like, this is Derek Gore he was talking about. I was like,
Derek Gore.
Apparently he hasn't been playing long enough for the coach to remember his name.
Yeah.
So back to Justin's question. I don't want to play Darrell Williams because the new one might take some of his shine away. I'm with you. It's either DJ Moore or Jalen Waddle. I love me some Jalen Waddle, and I'm trying to look up. I see they're playing the Texans, which is not even a defense.
Yeah, I'd like Waddle in that matchup.
And
I would go Waddle.
And the Panthers, on the other hand, are playing against the Patriots, who do have a defense. I like Waddle. Yeah.
I like Waddle. Yeah.
I like Waddle. Is James Robinson and Carlos Hyde? They've been talking a lot about Carlos Hyde this week because James Robinson.
Well, he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt, and so the question is, who's gonna be there, or will they both be? If Robinson plays, I can see him not getting his usual volume, and maybe
James Robinson didn't practice today.
Yeah.
So if he don't practice today, he didn't practice today, but if he don't practice tomorrow,
he gets scared.
Or Friday, he's not probably gonna play. He's probably gonna be Hyde. Carlos Hyde probably playing.
Yeah.
I don't play either one, I guess. I mean, if you got other options,
right.
Hyde may get just off pure value. Yeah. Hyde may be all right, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I would kind of stay away.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, despite I said Justice excellent. Yeah, despite the fact that the new one had a really good game, Darrell Williams still did his doggone thing. So they both coexisted last week, but it was the Giants. I don't know how that works out with the Packers or not.
See, but the thing, Clyde Allert, CEH is coming back this
Clyde
week.
Edwards-Helaire.
Not week, but he's coming back next week. So Darrell Williams and Gore are not really going to matter at this point. So.
Yeah, the question is Frank Gore and the new guy related? I don't think they are related, but did you see memes going all around on Twitter and everywhere that they had Frank Gore's face with like a little mask on, like a little fake beard, and said that's Derek Gore. So
yeah,
and who was it? It was Michael Strahan. He was on the Monday Night Show with the two Payton brothers, and he was like, "Well, Frank Gore's old enough that Derek Gore might be his grandson or something like that."
No, that ain't his son. He actually got a son that's in college.
In college,
so pretty good. Yeah. He gonna be in the league too.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Derrick Henry's DNA. Frank Gore got that good DNA as well. So,
Frank Gore been in the league 20 years if he could.
Basically. Justin's co-sign. Yeah, he says Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be back after the bye. Let's see. I think we hit all those questions. One more before you go. Taysom Hill. Do you claim him in a 1 QB league? You probably don't.
Not even.
In a 1 QB league, I'm not interested. At least not until I see something. Unless I'm having some quarterback struggles. That's the only reason I do. I picked up Taysom Hill in a couple of my 2 quarterback leagues, in Superflex leagues. In fact, I won a waiver claim on him in one of my. I had to spend like $70 of my free agency money, which is like 70% of the full roster. But that's again that Superflex league where I said I was starting Case Keenum and Jacoby Brissett, et cetera, et cetera. So I spent like 70% of my free agency money on Taysom Hill. So yeah. But those are the only situations where I'm not putting Taysom Hill in a 1 quarterback league. I'm not even sure I'm playing Jameis Winston in a 1 quarterback league before the injury. So yeah, Jason to me, who was more of a backup, and I think Taysom Hill at best is your backup until you see otherwise for 1 quarterback league. That is.
Well, I do got one for our producer. I see they acquired Melvin Ingram. I mean, does that help them? What does that do for them?
It can't make them worse. The defense is terrible.
No, they just need to scrap what they got and start over. But it's too late in the season for that. So they just gotta run with what they got. But as far as I'm concerned, season's over. Scrap it. Let's start from from.
Woo! She feeling my pain.
Yeah.
Lord, she feeling my pain. Lord have mercy. Woo! Sydney, I knew you'd come around. Lord, you feeling my pain. Hey, look, we're in the same boat, girl. I feel you.
Yeah, both of y'all teams are terrible. But the Raiders, on the other hand, despite everything, I'm going to go to Justin. I forgot I banned Justin. Why am I still reading his questions? He asked that we hear about the man in Monday Night Curse. Oh,
my gosh. She said, here we go again with that Raiders stuff. I know that household around there with the Raiders winning. I know it's pretty bad for her.
They're on top, so I gotta keep hearing it, which is cool. You live in the moment.
Here's the thing: I've been on a roller coaster with the Raiders, with them up and them. I was a believer, then I said it's all over, and then I became a believer again. Next week I'll probably be like it's all over, but I'm a Raiders fan, so it's situation normal.
I give you that. That's cool.
So it's
mad at it.
Oh, see, Justin banned again. I just brought you back in the fold. Jets are better than the Raiders in your well, actually, now I'm going to be that guy. Yeah, the Jets are better than the Radiers, but the Raiders, on the other hand,
are you really correcting this guy?
I'm going to correct his spelling on this one. Talk about my squad.
Look, don't treat him like that. Look, Justin's loyal. I'm not banning you, Justin, so don't worry about it, okay? You're not banned.
You don't even have the ban button over there. I'm the only
one.
It
don't even matter.
I'm the only one with the power to ban.
You can't ban him. He's coming back, okay? Sorry.
Ban Justin.
You good, Justin. Justin,
you get no more questions the rest of the night. Holler back at us next week. But I did say this doesn't count because it was an old comment. He talked about Salah should have been a head coach sooner. So he's been doing pretty nice with that Jets team. I'm impressed because honestly, I had no expectations for the Jets at all this year. They've beaten 2 of the best teams in the AFC.
Well, he's a leader, man. He leads really. He's a really good leader. So he's built to be a head coach. They just got to get some players around there to actually win games, a lot of them. But they're on the right path.
That's where they're going to hit the ball because ownership of that team is still terrible. And
they're doing good with Michael Carter. Now, the question for me is...
They got some young pieces, yeah. I like Michael Carter.
If Zach Wilson, if he don't pan out in the next year, obviously not this year, but in the next year, do you think they move on from him?
They moved on from Sam Darnold in 3 years? Was it? So yeah.
It was 3 because he had was it 3? No, it was 4. It was 4 years because he was because his deal was his deal was coming up. Yeah, and that's how he got traded. It was 4, but I don't think I don't know. They starting good. They just got to kind of get some stuff worked out there. I think they'll be all right. So I ain't worried about that too much.
They're not going to be great. I saw that he thinks they can win 5 games this year.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That's a lot, but I mean, it's in the realm of possibility. But here's the deal with that. They don't have to be good this year, in my opinion.
No, they don't.
I mean,
they don't have to be good for the next 2 years.
They have a rookie quarterback. They have rookie wide receivers. They have a rookie head coach. They have no wide receivers for real, for real. Well, Elijah Moore is there. He's young too.
Yeah.
But, the Crowder and Corey Davis are just, I think, fill-ins for the moment. Maybe Corey Davis can be there for a while. But they have a nucleus, and he's the defensive genius, right? So they could contend in years to come.
Well, do you think they give him a chance to build a good team, or you think the window opportunity is going to play out
to the
in the next 2
ownership
years?
thing? But if he can get them winning, I think that buys him some more time.
Okay.
So we'll see. But they will never be better than the Raiders. So
he said they played Houston and they played the Jags.
Yeah,
so
right.
They won a few games.
That helps, right?
I didn't find DJ 31 Apple games.
Oh Lord, that's funny. That's funny. That's a good one, Justin. That's a good one. Yeah. Wow. But that's all I got, man. I don't got nothing else. That's it. We appreciate y'all. All the questions, definitely. Like I say, man, we here. We ain't going nowhere. You know where to find us. Yeah. Like, subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hey, man, tell your friend and tell their friends, because we're trying to reach a goal here. But definitely, we appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yeah. Thanks much. Be sure to watch back on Saturday for the 40-second play clock. We're going to go through all 40 games, including whether that, going back to Justin's comment, including whether that Manning brothers curse is going to affect Josh Allen this coming week. We'll see.
We'll see.
Thanks for joining us. Hit like, hit subscribe. We'll see you back here again next Wednesday. And y'all, best of luck to y'all week 9 and your fantasy football teams. Hit us up. We'd love to hear back from you.
Peace.
Peace out.